Back in the early 1900s, as a matter of fact, it was as early as 1915, the theologian Dr. B.B. Warfield was speaking to his students who were training for Christian service, and he spoke these words to them, and really listened to them. "It's sad," he said, "to witness the death of anything worthy, even the death of a word." And he said, "And worthy words do die, like any other worthy thing, if we do not take good care of them." He went on to say, "And I hope that you will determine that God helping you, you will not let them die, if any care on your part can preserve them in life and vigor." There are two words of significance that I'm afraid, in my opinion, we have not done a good job in preserving their life, their vigor, and particularly their meaning. They're these two words, disciple and Christian. Let's take a look at the word disciple first. I often ask people to give me the definition of a word disciple, and their answers will vary. And sometime, from time to time, they'll get it right, but it's the exception and it's not the rule. Most all of the definitions are rooted and can be interchanged with the word convert. This is important, particularly in the light of evangelism, in obedience to what Christ asks us to do. In most, yet not all churches, but in most churches that have an evangelistic outreach, the focus is on going out, presenting the gospel, and making a confession of faith. And when they do this, they call it a conversion. And the people that get converted, they call converts. Yet even just a cursory look at the Great Commission, you'll see that we're not directed to make converts. We're told to make disciples. Yet if the words have become interchangeable to us, it's no wonder that we feel that we're fulfilling the Great Commission. And we're deceiving ourselves. While a convert may be someone who has said the sinner's prayer and they've asked for forgiveness, a disciple is something altogether different. A convert may experience the life-changing power of the Spirit, or they may not. Its focus is only on one component of the gospel, repentance, while a disciple is focused on becoming like his or her rabbi or their teacher. The focus was being in total submission and obedience to him. Whatever the rabbi told them to do, they did it. There was no questions or second guessing that was allowed. They just totally put their trust and obeyed whatever he told them to do. They never did anything on their own without first asking their rabbi about it. Have you ever thought about this? Why do you think that Peter asked Jesus, "Lord, if it's really you, bid me to come to you on the water"? He knew the rule. He couldn't just jump out of the boat and begin to walk. Rabbi first had to give him that command. And without it, he would have stayed in the boat. If only we had that type of discipline in our walk with the Lord. And if we're going to fulfill the Great Commission, we have to understand that we're to make disciples, not converts. We best know the difference in those meanings. The second word is the word Christian. The word Christian in America means a lot of things today, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're obedient followers of Christ. We've watered it down so much that you can be a Christian by today's standards and never truly follow Christ at all. Did you know that the word Christian is only referred to 3 times in the New Testament? 2 of those times it's by pagans to identify those who were giving their lives to Christ. More importantly, and hear this, Christ never used the term at all. Whenever he referred to those who would accept him, he used either follower or believer, those who would believe in me. He went on to explain in several places what it meant to believe. It meant to love him. It meant to obey me. It meant to keep my commandments. Today, you can be a Christian and you may or may not love him. You may or may not obey him, or you may or may not keep his commandments. We have certainly not kept good care of those 2 words. Should we be making converts, or even Christians for that matter? Or should we take the Great Commission at face value and go and make disciples and teach them to obey whatsoever he commanded us? I think I'll be safe and choose discipleship.